All right. Lazy Sundays are about to get loud. Crosier, and I am joined by everything destroying. Yeah!
You write something on my face.
Let's add Tetiana, Donovan, and Jim into the stream. Come on in, guys. How are you guys doing? Come on, what is this not working?
I'm doing better now, man. That was some kind of intro, man.
There we go.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. I'm a glutton for punishment, as one can see. Jim, Tetiana, Donovan, thanks so much for coming on the show. As I said before we went live, it's been a while since I've had an amazing band on the show. And, as we were talking about, horror and music go really well hand in hand. Can you guys talk to us a little bit about yourself? Tetiana, it's been a couple years. We had you on like way back in 2020 from the UK.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about your journey here to the States and joining up with Jim and Donovan, and you've got another member, Trevor, who's not on right now, but hopefully he'll join us, and forming Everything Destroying.
Yeah, of course. I really feel blessed to have my Everything Destroying metal band. And I really feel blessed. And it was a long journey. When we were talking to you before, when I was still in Ukraine, I just had some plans to have a band and was dreaming about some metal projects and people who will share the same goals and the same views for the music and just in general for the band's journey. And and I was like actually pretty busy, honestly, all the time busy doing something, didn't have enough time. But then the work came and I actually got plenty of time, like fleeing the war, like leave my house and thinking about the future because I couldn't return. And and me and Donovan, we started our communication like long ago, more than a couple of years ago. It's like a couple of years, about like 4 months. And we were like fans for each other. So he had his project, My Robot Kills, and he was lead singer. And I had plenty of my material from previous years with my project to show. So actually we started like communication, and we were like fans, and had started to discuss some plans, like that would be good to have like one song together, something like that. So everything started to be much bigger than just our discussion. Well, it was still like like dreams and thinking and plans, but we didn't think what will be in the end. So, and actually, like, because of the war, everything happened much faster. Otherwise, honestly, I don't know how long it would take. And yeah, so and Jim, like, he was a friend of Donovan too, and they were fans, like, because like Jim had his project Hella Metal, Donovan had his project, and so everything is just connected, and everything happened like in one time. Jim lost his project Hella Metal, and everything like stopped in one moment. Donovan also like lost his project. I am also trying to do something. So that's why like we decided, wow, we can actually try to work together and to see what we will have.
Cool.
So as I said, it's going great.
Nice. Yeah, Jim, you guys have been together for about 9 months. What's the experience been like for you?
Oh, it's been great. You know, at the time that these guys reached out to me, I've been in over 20 bands in my life, and I'm just one of those guys that that's just what I do, man. A band breaks up, and I start a new one within 6 months, and it's just been going like that since I was like 18 years old. And so when they reached out to me, I was pretty much done. I was like, I'm over it. You know, I'm getting a little older. I'm just tired of the drama that bands provide, and I have a little studio here at my house, and I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and start doing my thing. And Donovan reached out to me. He and I had been friends primarily through social media, but our bands crossed paths. One of my bands played with one of his as they were touring through my small town. And we became friends online a long time ago, years ago, actually. And we always stayed in touch, and we were always cool with each other. And then he had his band, My Robot Kills, and I was a fan of them. And I had my band, Hella Metal, and he was a fan of us. In fact, he helped and collaborated with us in my last band with some various things, helped us with a music video, and reached out and helped us do some mixing. And so we've just been buddies. We had great respect already for each other. And I knew he had been talking to Tetiana, and her and I became friends too through him. And when she came over here, they were looking to start a project. And even though we're distant, we're over 4 hours separated. I live near Mount Shasta, California, way northern, and they live over in another region over to the east of me by about 4 hours. So when they got a hold of me, I was totally flattered, and I'd already been working on some music that was just kind of to entertain myself because, like I said, I was kind of over it. Yeah. And I sent it to them as just kind of like a demo to show them what I do. Donovan already kind of knew. And they were like, "Hey, this is awesome." And I was like, "Cool." Cool. If they think I'm cool, then I'm cool again. So, and we've just been collaborating ever since. We immediately started getting into production on recording. And it's funny, we had already actually had a couple of festivals lined up before we even had a full set to play.
Wow.
So, we kind of rushed through, and so much has happened in 9 months. I mean, we've got merch, we've got an EP, we've got a music video, we played 2 festivals, and I thought it was going to be basically impossible to be in a band because I'm old school. I'm like got to practice every weekend with the guys, kind of thing, and I thought that was the way it had to be. But this is all proving me wrong for sure.
Nice. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, Donovan, you and Jim have been friends, through social media, and have connected in a couple of different shows with each other's bands and stuff. What's the scene like out in California as far as like music? I mean, granted, you guys have all these different genres going on. But as far as like the metal scene, and then Jim being like 4 hours away, it's like does each town or each county kind of have a different flavor or?
Yeah, for sure. I just spent the last several years working out of the Sacramento music scene over there. Their metal rock and roll scene. They have a really wonderful scene there, and but it is each little area is different. Like where Jim is, I mean, he runs one of the most successful metal festivals, period, in Northern California called Metal in the Mountains, which we had the pleasure of getting to take part in and stuff like that. And it's really amazing different places you go. You know, in his area, everything's a really big family. I mean, I wouldn't say it's cliquey, but it's a big family, you know, and everyone's a part of it. And you don't get a lot of the backstabbing or a lot of, you know, everyone's like really supportive of each other, which is kind of different than what you get used to in, you know, in the metal scene. Where I kind of grew up in Monterey area, everything was very contentious, and every different scene had their own kind of like beef with each other. You know, you'd have like straight edge people and punk rockers, you know, and you'd have the metal heads and you'd have the hardcore people. And, you know, the scene never really worked really well because everyone worked against each other. Whereas in Northern California, where we're at, it's a big family. Everyone's super supportive of everybody. It's really something special to be a part of. I think the further south you go in California, the closer you get to LA, stuff starts to get pretty nasty. You know, everyone's trying to, you know, cut their teeth in Hollywood and make their money, you know, and everyone's trying to make it. People aren't really interested in helping each other. They're all out for themselves. I don't want to pigeonhole everybody, but that's kind of the feel. Whereas in Northern California, where we're at, it's really beautiful. It's actually kind of amazing how the scene comes together to support each other. And the love we've gotten as a project since we started doing this, it's really flattering.
Nice.
Yeah, even the Bay Area is pretty cutthroat. There's very dog eat dog down there in that area too. What I find in my end of Northern California, we really never had a scene. That's kind of why I started the festival, was to create a scene, because I love playing metal and I love bands and I love music, and there was no networking because we're kind of isolated where I am up here. It's all very small communities here. But the cool thing is that no matter what genre of band you're in up here, everybody plays together. I mean, you'll go to a show, there may be a death metal band, a hardcore band, an old school metal band, and a black metal band, or even a punk band playing together. And everybody's just, you know, everybody's friends, everybody's complimenting each other. Nobody's, like Donovan said, there's not a bunch of backstabbing going on, a lot of gatekeeping. We all have our own tastes, but we all come together up here, man. It's a community. It's really a beautiful thing, to be honest.
That's great to, you know, go into an environment where everybody's so supportive.
Definitely.
Yeah, out here in Denver, you know, we've got a lot of that within the music scene and the art scene and stuff. Not so much the film scene yet, but we're working on it. Give us some time.
Hey, you got to create your own buzz, man.
Yeah, it's really impressive. But it seems like there's amongst musicians, at least out here too. You know, there's just this amazing camaraderie. Everybody wants to cheer each other on and see everybody get better, improve, and make awesome art. You know.
Well, you know, it's like all the genres, like that Donovan mentioned. You know, the punk and the black metal and death metal, and I mean, all of it is derivative.
Right.
I mean, that's what's funny to me, is that people are so gatekeeper-ish, because it's really all the same thing. Everybody's got the same goal. They want to play loud.
Yeah.
Off about something. If you're offending somebody, you're probably doing your job right, you know, on some level. I just don't get it. I don't understand why there's so much of.
Oh.
The Illuminati shut him off, man. He was spitting some truth there. The Illuminati shut him off.
I wasn't sure if it was on my side. You know, sometimes the internet, you know, cuts out a little bit too.
No, it's me. I gotta turn my notifications off.
I was actually pretty impressed, like, with this scene here and with the bands and with attitude to each other, because I, like, honestly, like, I used to differently. Because even my hometown, I all the time tell, like, my hometown, but actually my hometown is like 1 million people. So, you know, it's like pretty big. And in general, we have pretty big cities like in Ukraine, but it's a lot of competition. So even if you like someone really and you tell that, they like think, aha, you tell me this because I am better. So, but actually, like, coming here for this like first festival, which runs Metal in the Mountains, actually, like, few musicians came to me right away and tell, I'm from this band, I'm a drummer, I'm a guitar player, I'm from them, from there. So nice to see you here. We can wait like for your performance. And I was thinking, how that's possible? Like, how that's possible? You didn't care like about me and what I'm doing here. So for me, that was, you know, like, wow. So I'm I can actually be a better person here, you know, because like I'm too kind for my part of the world, you know. We have pretty tough people. Yeah, so actually I'm really happy here and to see all these musicians. So that's actually something even unbelievable.
Wow. So that was the culture shock for you was
Yeah, that's what's shocking and still shocking.
oh.
And sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, think that cannot be true. You actually maybe want something, you know, or something else. Yeah, you can tell, but I will see in a few days what you will tell next. But
Right.
oh, they're actually sincere, like, and friendly and good. So
Yeah, you come to a show up here and the bands are hugging each other. You
Oh,
go to a show in Ukraine, from what Tanya says, the bands want to beat each other up.
yeah, we have that competition, like, and well, of course, some bands are friends. It's not like I never had friends who are musicians in other bands. We had that, but actually, that's actually why we have so many also great musicians, because we like, you know, all the time compete. You know, even when you release something really amazing, something can tell, hi, you even don't know how to play guitar or you don't know how to sing. So we actually all the time like suffering that we are not good enough, you know. So we try to be really on top of technologies and everything. Try to be as smart as we can. So we're not like, you know, like, oh, you're amazing, oh, you are so nice, and you're so talented. No, we actually, you are shit. You can play, you can sing, like you cannot, like you're shit drummer or something.
My ego would be beaten and bruised, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
I'd be like, what do you mean I suck? I just want to hug you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty fragile around that too. I'd have to hide behind Tetiana.
Well, she's our fearless leader, bro.
Yeah.
She's our fearless leader, man.
Yeah. Jim, with you being 4 hours away, you know, what's the creative process like to create music? Tetiana, you're on vocals. I imagine you're doing lyrics, and everybody else is working on the music.
Yeah, well, we're the collaboration up to now. Trevor just recently joined the band, so he hasn't really been part of the creativity yet because it is still early. But that'll come into the fold as we get together. It's definitely challenging and different.
Yeah.
Basically, I kind of hash out some ideas on my computer on my DAW at home.
Oh, cool.
And then I send them down to them, just for their approval. They go through and check it out. Tanya writes, comes up melody lines. She might send me back something, and I'll realize maybe I should have she'll suggest, or I'll realize maybe something should have been longer so she could have more space, or taken away because it's too much. So we're kind of like doing it that way.
Cool.
And then I send it down to Donovan with the clicks, and he adds the drums to it. How he wants to implement his style. It's really as collaborative as it can be, considering the distance.
Yeah.
It definitely has to filter through everybody. If I were to send an idea to them that they just absolutely did not like, I would throw it away. And I wouldn't be butthurt about it either, because I'm a fairly creative person, and I know I can always come up with something else. So it all works out really well, actually, as long as everybody's approving of what each other's doing, and we're all big fans of each other. So, I'm a big fan of Tanya's vocals. I'm a big fan of Donovan's drumming and Trevor's bass playing. So it makes it really easy. It's really it's a real breath of fresh air to be in this band, because out of all the bands I've been in, this one seems to be the most open-hearted, open-minded band that I've ever been in, and mature, as far as everyone having the same drive, everyone having the same goal. So it's really a cool thing. I feel blessed.
Nice. That's awesome. Donovan, we're in the middle of festival season, getting back out there doing live performances and stuff. Do you guys got a pretty full schedule for the rest of the year?
Funny enough, actually, we took a step back. Like our big goal initially was to try to prepare ourselves for the two festivals we just did, the Rivera Fest and for Metal in the Mountains. From our philosophy, because of the constraint with like the distance, right? We think of things really strategically. We're not you know, we'd love to play all the time and play every show everyone invites us to and stuff like that and have fun locally and stuff. But it's just not viable, you know, financially to do just everything. So we're being pretty strategic right now. What we're trying to do is, as opposed to doing a bunch of small shows, just kind of focusing more on larger shows, you know what I mean? Where we're going to get that bigger audience, which is going to help us like sell our merchandise and kind of get the word out a little bit faster. And so that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Of course, we're, you know, we like I say, we want to play all the time. But, you know, like you were talking about earlier with the distance, how you handle it, like a lot of it's just us doing our homework. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bands where you say, you know, okay, guys, next week when we meet up on Wednesday, everybody make sure you know this song, and you get there and at least one or two of the people, you can tell they didn't practice. And now you're having to go through that during practice. And so what we really do try to do, and it's the beauty of this technology we have, and kind of COVID brought some of this out too, this kind of distance networking where, you know, we just really solidly do our job on our own. So when we get together, it was funny, the first time we got together as a rehearsal, we got through the songs. I mean, just like we sat down, we're like, let's go. And then we did it. And it like we were all kind of like, wow. You know,
like, I don't want to cut you off, Donovan. No, it's cool. Pretty awesome. You know, we came together for the first time with no rehearsals and just started playing the material because we'd all been rehearsing in our own spaces. We were already doing our homework and we were already really prepared. So, you know, we came out, we were really surprised because we have put everything has happened so quickly, from the structure of the band to the writing of the songs to already recording an EP. I mean, we put so many carts ahead of our horses in this band. But when we came out and played those couple of festivals, the reception for us was just overwhelming. We were totally like, wow, you know, I mean, so many bands that I know, and I can speak for Donovan, I'm sure, that we've been in, we've had to work so hard to try to get some sort of reception or notoriety. And still, I feel like we're getting more now than we ever have in this short amount of time. So we're taking a step back to work on our production, to gain focus, and so that when we come back out, we're even better than we were. You know, as a musician, it's very common that you get in a band, you get some songs written really fast, and then you start gigging. Well, once you start gigging, it's like a roller coaster ride. You go on, these bands stick with these same 5 or 6 songs for 2 years because you have to take time to develop things, because it's harder to develop things once you're gigging. You know, because the focus becomes rehearsing for shows and it's not as much writing anymore. So we're trying to get some more good material. We have 5 songs now. We're writing a 6th one as we speak, pretty much. And we want to just have a really great production. So when we come out, we just come out swinging, you know. So when we get on that roller coaster, we're prepared for the ride, basically.
Nice. I do have your music video, Speechless, you know, queued up here. Tetiana, do you mind, you know, talking a little bit about that and what that, you know, song means to you guys?
Yeah, of course. So this lyrics I actually wrote about like 1 year ago when I was just fleeing the war, and you know, I used to write some poetry from my childhood. And that's actually, I didn't know if that will be a song one day. I just wrote something just from the heart, and I felt bad at that moment. And but actually when we started to have this band and Jim sent like his first music, I was thinking that will be the song, you know? So even if like everyone tells, oh, you should write when you listen the music, you need to understand what will be about. So I have pretty crazy approach to things, you know, I don't care about many standards. So I think now I actually like change maybe like a few words, something, so it's like matches better for the song. And so for me that was important, you know, it's like to tell something like about my country, like about my people, support my friends, support, because like, you know, that's crazy, like some of musicians there, like who I know, they are not even alive anymore. Some people, like great people from the bands, like cool drummers, you know, they're not like, you're not like ready for that. And so I had just, you know, like some type of responsibility even if I try to stay away all the time from politics or something. But that's actually my life, you know. Now it's like my country, my situation. So it's not something selfish or just, oh, I will, let's discuss some political topics. So no, now it's something huge, like for me. So, and I just thankful that the guys, they actually support me with that, and that mean a lot to me. And I understand, like, wow, to release first song, like, and it's about Ukraine, like being here, like in California, that's actually a little crazy. Like, but actually, yeah, so they feel so much like my situation and just in general that in the world, you know, like it's not first war in the world. There is so many like grief just in general. So, but maybe only now I like understand that I can actually somehow influence, you know. And I just, so the message is just we need to stop that. We need to stop the war till like the war destroys us. I don't remember how that exactly like message. Do you remember, Jim? How exactly?
No, I always forget it. Donovan, you remember?
Now I forgot it. Dang it! Why'd you do that to me? We must put an end to war before mankind must put an end to war before war puts an end to mankind. You know.
Yeah, but actually there is like, if you watch video very like attentively, there are some like parts from the past.
Right.
And so we had some already some disaster, and after Second World War. So, and actually after that we had a lot of things restored, our buildings. So I just, my message, yeah, we have that crazy time, like that's like huge disaster, but we have our future and all will be good. And I want to believe in that. And I remind people that we actually have blood of warriors in our, like in our veins, and we are like fighters in our heart. So actually we are fighting for the freedom. And this actually like the message not only for Ukrainians, that's actually message for the whole people around the world, you know, that we should stay strong and no one can come to our life and take our culture, our identity, our freedom. So we actually deserve to be free, at least because we just were born on the same earth, you know, we're all brothers and sisters. So no one have that right, and no one should ever have that. So that's my message.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, Tatiana. Let me cue this up. This is Speechless. Yeah. Take a second here to add it to the stream. You're probably seeing it on your end before I can see it on mine. Come on.
I'm waiting to see if it's the official video or the lyric video.
Oh, according to YouTube, it says it's the official one. So we shall see. There we go. Wow, that's pretty amazing, guys.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, the video was made by Tanya's brother Alex, and he's over there right now in Zaporizhia, kind of not far from where that power plant is there that everyone keeps talking about on the news, the nuclear plant there, the hydroelectric plant. So, but he put in a lot of work for us and put a lot of heart and soul into that. So we're super thankful for him too for putting that together for us, and means a lot, you know, for us to be able to support, you know, the free people of Ukraine and the free people of the world. So
Yeah. It's like it's crazy when you think it's not like movie. This is actual reality, and how crazy world it is. Like so all that explosion, everything is real.
Yeah.
So actually, like from the news, all the materials we try to find in the better quality, so people can really see, you know, what's going on. So we cannot close our eyes on the things that are happening. So yeah, I'm just feel blessed that I was able, to make my voice to be heard around the world, and some people see, and so I feel really blessed. I had this opportunity, and the guys gave me this opportunity.
Yes, and I'm glad to help you with that, Tanya.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, war is, I mean, just such a horrifying thing. You know, me as an outsider, just like looking at this, you know, it's just terrifying. You know, to see this, you know, going on in this day and age. You know, something so senseless. You know, you mentioned earlier that you know, in Ukraine, you know, the musicians there are constantly competing. You know, thank goodness, because you know, so that they can you know, kick you know, Russians' ass, you know, out of the country.
Well, it's pretty tough people, you know, there, and so Russians, they're not the only one tough. Actually, we have like, so my hometown, this is like actually the heart of our national warriors, Cossacks. And so we have the whole history, and they actually try to like keep freedom of the people, and they were actually very strong. It was like huge amount. Actually, people who were in slavery, they also tried to run away to that island, which is like in my hometown. And so they learn how to fight, how to protect themselves and everything. So that's actually was very long time, like for centuries.
Okay.
So you know, it's not so like easy to come and take something that belong to us. That's actually our like heritage.
Yeah. Wow. You know, yeah, it's incredibly horrifying, and yeah, it's really good to see that you know, you guys are creating, you know, music, creating art that really reflects, you know, the times that we're living in, and being able to communicate that to the rest of the world. You know, in that sense, is it, you know, something, you know, kind of cathartic, or, you know, kind of a way to kind of cope and deal with the, you know, the ills of the world?
you know, maybe, you know, I'm sure there's some of that to that. I mean, you know, it's interesting, like you know, people when they meet, you know, Tetiana for the first time, you know, they want to hear her story. They want to like know more, you know. We're all pretty much, you know, in agreement, you know, that, you know, whatever we're getting from the media at any given time is, you know, pretty far from the truth most of the time. And so people, you know, this is kind of a way for her to spread that message, and that, you know, that's heavy music and there's heavy imagery, but all of us are, you know, to us, you know, we'd like to see an end to war, you know, and see peace, you know what I mean? And you know, a lot of, you know, like I say, the band, you know, the songs are really heavy and they come off really aggressive, and you know, we're a voice for that, but really all of us are really into, you know, nature and peace, you know, and like that, you know, we want to live in peace, you know, and yeah, it's really it was really cool, you know. I don't think it was intentional to start off with that message, you know what I mean, per se. It just kind of, it's the elephant in the room, I guess, and it just came out, and we're really happy with it. And I you know, there, you know, you feel so defenseless. You're like, I don't know what to do. You see these things happening, you go like, I don't know how to help or what I can do. You know, in our own small way, this is at least something we could do. You know what I mean, to try to end this, you know, this war. You know, and so hopefully it has that effect on people.
Yeah.
You know.
Actually, that's why I have that goal for the message, you know, for people around the world to unite people. And if, because I'm in metal culture, of course, I try to unite metal heads. But in general, you know, like my thinking, people as nowadays are so separated, that's crazy. So why we have all these wars, you know, because like, this my boundary, that's my boundary. I'm from this country, you're from that country. I'm this religion, you're that religion. I'm this race, you're that race. This my language, that's your language, you know? But we should think what unites us, what we have in common. So we don't have all that thing, like people like losing their families and their houses and everything, because we actually have a lot in common, but people for some reason, they just close their eyes and they see only difference. You're from that part of the world, I'm from this part of the world. But actually, all of us are connected. You know, even if some disaster happens, even with the nature, everyone will suffer. Everyone. It doesn't matter in what country you live, which is your country. And even that's even selfish self. That's my country. You know, because like, who even created all these boundaries? That wasn't my choice. If you'll ask me, that wasn't. I didn't choose that.
Well, it's the art that brought us together, kind of like you know, you've got this, you know, you're working with people who are, you know, in the film industry and people who are creating films, you know what I mean? And it's like, the art is what breaks down those boundaries. It brings all those people together, you know, even cross genre. I mean, you know, here we are, a band here, and, you know, so thankful you let us on here, but, you know, it's another one of those examples where the art, it communicates more effectively to everyone.
Well, you know, I think the only thing that's going to change all of our boundaries and get all of us together is the common enemy theory. As a horror movie guy, you can appreciate it. You know damn straight, if the aliens came and they were coming after all of us, we would figure out a way to make friends really fast to combat the aliens from outer space.
That's right.
Unfortunately, I think humans are so stubborn that it takes that kind of mentality to get us all to come together.
Yeah, very much so. Like, you know, kind of a War of the Worlds type situation. Or, you know, like, you know, more recently, like Alan Moore's Watchmen. You know, where they unfortunately they manipulated an alien invasion and got a lot of people to temporarily, you know, kind of join sides. But yeah, it's that common thread is a big thing, is art, and that's what, you know, really gives so much of life, you know, the fuel to really live, you know. Otherwise, you know, why do we need to eat and survive and breathe oxygen? You know, we need to have that reason, and so much of it is, you know, art. And
at the end of the day, we're all humans, you know. And I mean, I think if you boil it down, it's really not the people of these countries that want to have a problem with each other. It's the leaders. And I think so often we all assume that if someone's from a different country and that country has beef with us or we have beef with them, that those people must really be jerks and not like us. But I think there's probably a lot more people out there with a common mindset that we are all people, and we would probably all get along if we just hung out together and could talk to each other a little bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely the governments cannot. I think that's a misconception, is that, you know, the government is the reflection of its people.
Right.
And it's not always the case.
No, most of the time it's the opposite. It's it's the inversion of the people.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I'm kind of reminded of like you know, Henry Rollins, you know, doing spoken word, and you know, during the George W. Bush administration, he would go on into those countries, you know, as a vacation to those areas that are, you know, the federal government deemed, you know, hostile to Americans.
Right.
And he would break bread with so many people and had all these wonderful stories, you know. And just,
that's awesome. I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he went to other countries and did his spoken word.
oh yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
He would go do that, and then, you know, he would also, you know, just take vacations. If he's abroad and had a weekend, he would you know, hop over to Beirut or something, and you know, just go get lost in the streets, and you know, didn't know the language or anything, but always, you know, seemed to, you know, be taken in by somebody's household, and
Yeah.
you know, cool. Yeah, and everybody. Yeah, he said the most common thread was everybody watched Oprah. Oprah was the common thread. It's like, do you know Oprah? You're from New York.
No.
You must be best friends. Sorry, not enough time in the day to watch Oprah.
Come on, YouTube some Oprah.
Yeah. So that was always funny, but yeah, you know, it's interesting. We have these really stupid misconceptions, and our government tells us one thing, and human nature says, no, that's not true. You know, they all want the same thing. They want to live, love, and you know, have a good time, and that's it. You know,
I think that's bottom line. That's all any of us want, is to have our, you know, our families and love and be healthy and happy.
Yeah, most definitely.
Podcasts, metal bands and stuff.
Yes, and I think the nice thing about, like, I mean, heavy metal is you know, an amazing art form. You know, it's a fantastic music, and it's, you know, very storied. And yeah, I think one of the interesting benefits of heavy metal in particular, and it's not true of all music, but I get, you know, my understanding is that it gives way to better mental health, because you're getting rid of, you know, any negative energy, and creating community over, you know, the exertion of that.
Sure.
So I think
I've seen a lot of that lately, where they're talking about just a lot of studies that have been done about that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's probably what kept, you know, it's actually kind of surprising how many people, because when you think of metalheads, you just think of dudes going with Slayer and headbanging. You meet some of the fascinating and intelligent people, like, in any metal. It's really surprising, you know what I mean?
Metal is like the Dungeons and Dragons of music.
Yes.
You know, it's so misconceived. You know, people think that we're eating babies and all this stuff. And, you know, so many of us are just really good-hearted people, and we're all basically really intelligent nerds, basically.
It actually reminds me some information about Japan, that in big companies, they have separate rooms where they have like big doll, and it looks like your boss, and you actually can beat it. You can beat them. That's actually how they release their anger or something, and they're crazily productive, as we know. So metal music is something about that too.
Kind of like putting a dummy in a room.
That's awesome. Oh, that's I've never heard that about Japan, but it totally makes sense.
Yeah, nothing surprises me with Japan anymore. You know.
Oh, that's hilarious. Now, you know, talking about, like, you know, art forms and such. Yeah, you know, Jim, before we went on, you told me that you were in a horror movie. You know, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think the audience would really be interested in that as well.
Well, it's called Hotel Dunsmuir. You can find it. It's on Netflix and Vudu and some of the other streaming channels. It was filmed here in my small town, and it basically has to do with a entity that lives in an old hotel. And the hotel here, it is named after, the movie's named after it. It's Hotel Dunsmuir. And it's a real hotel here. And it's actually been reported that it is actually haunted too.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I was an extra in the movie. I had a few lines. I played the main character's buddy. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so everybody out there, definitely go check that out. And, you know, where can we go to find your music? I've got your Facebook page streaming down below, but you know, where can we find more of everything destroyed?
Like right now, Facebook's probably our main platform we're using right now because it seems to have the widest, like, you know, variety of like people that are all there. You know what I mean? But we do have a YouTube page. You can find us on Instagram as well. You can find us on TikTok. Yeah, we're actually in the process of constructing everythingdestroying.com, the website, our official site, which will be up and running sometime soon. We actually met about that this weekend, and we're fleshing that out. But right now, I think like the main place to kind of connect with us would be Facebook.
Yeah.
We're going to be onto the platforms as well.
Like
we'll be on Spotify and all that stuff too eventually here within the next month or two.
Yeah.
Nice.
We do have an EP you can buy. We do have merch. We have shirts.
Okay.
We have an EP that we will ship to you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have physical CDs. That's actually interesting. So on our physical CDs, we have 3 songs, and one of them only is on the internet. So 2 others heard only people who bought our CDs.
Cool. That's awesome. And where can you know, when are you guys playing out next? Is it another festival or is it a venue?
You know, well, you'll have to stay tuned on that. There's nothing booked right now. We do have some some opportunities that have been thrown our way. We haven't committed on anything, but definitely keep an eye on us. We're definitely going to be hitting the road soon and playing some really exciting shows here with some great bands very soon. But right now, yeah, there's nothing specifically booked. We're actually working on like Jim said, working on our live set to where it's a real production, where it's gonna leave people really stoked, and they're gonna have a great time seeing it. And yeah, we're in the process of doing some of that stuff right now, doing more recording. But yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on us. We'll have some shows to announce here very soon. So.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, guys, you know, we're about up for time. But I want to thank you for being so generous with your time and coming on and talking about all the cool, you know, creative, you know, music that you guys are putting out, you know, for the band, for everything destroying, and yeah, and just you know, sharing some of your life stories, you know, to our audience. We would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate being here.
Yeah, thank you. This has been
so
a hell of a
much.
lot of fun, and so yeah, we really enjoy it. Hopefully we'll get to be on your show again in the future. I had a great time.
So we'll have much more to share, some new achievements and great results.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, stick around for a few minutes while we sign off. But again, you know, thanks so much. It's great to be able to reconnect with you, Tetiana, and to meet you, Jim, and Donovan, and. Hopefully next time Trevor will be rested up and can join us.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And of course, to our sponsors, to Mutiny Information Cafe, if you're going to start a revolution, make sure you're caffeinated. To our friends at Hellfire Entertainment, thanks for rebroadcasting us on your social media. To Groovy TV, Tetiana, you'll appreciate this. You know, to Groovy, we greatly miss you and hold you dear to our hearts. And of course, to our sponsors with Alien Donut Films and Angela Joseph Productions. Yeah, thanks so much for you know, supporting us. And to my producers, Lily Fisher, Amanda Armstrong, and Stefan Santa Cruz, thanks for putting up with my shit. But again, to everybody that tuned in, you know, make sure you go and follow Everything Destroying. Go pick up their music. Go follow them on Facebook and on Instagram and YouTube. And, pretty soon the website will be out, and Spotify too. So that'll be really exciting. To everybody out there, be good, be kind, help each other out during tough times, and stay spooky, my friends. Take care till next time.
Yeah.